Okay, here we are. We are getting started. Welcome everyone. Yeah. So I'm just getting started. Today has been a busy day. The classical Monday. I love classical Mondays. I really do. I don't know why, but I do. Let me just add chat over here. I'm still getting myself set up, but we're going to talk about some really awesome stuff today. Um, Bear with me for 1 second. I apologize. Woo! You ever just had one of those days where it just seems like nothing is going right, but everything is coming together? Absolutely cray. But hopefully everyone had a great weekend. For the mothers out there, hopefully you had a great Mother's Day. Hey, just for you, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. I'm just getting everything set up so that we can get started because, like I said, we have a lot to talk about. Once again, the other feed is acting up. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're getting started. We're getting started. So hopefully I can actually be of assistance on this somewhat dreary Monday, at least in my area. Um, I've actually, oh my God. So I've been working on, so that's why I keep on saying when I get on that I am completely beat. I've been working on some really cool stuff over the last couple of weeks, and believe it or not, it has come together better than what I expected. It is actually a solution from for people that are going through the trauma bond. And it's actually it serves a dual purpose, I'm going to say, because it actually helps people decode it. I think that's one of the questions that we go over a lot today during these lives is, hey, what's up, how you doing, Travis? Thank you for joining. I think that's a lot of what we talk about is how can you tell if you're in a narcissistic relationship. How can you be sure that what you're going through is narcissistic abuse? How can you be sure if your partner is a demon? Real questions. And hopefully, via what I've created, I will be able to help people get real answers. Uh, and this thing just will not kick in correctly. But I'll be able to help people. Hey, thank you, Narcastic. Thank you for joining. I'll be able to help people get real answers to this whole, am I involved with a narc? What are my options? How do I go about healing? How do I figure this out? Because sometimes it feels like a big, huge mystery. Um, People that have survived this kind of know that it's really not a mystery. It's easy to figure out as long as you watch the patterns. I don't know if I agree with you, but hi, Narcastic, how you doing? I don't know, if there's an easier way to say it, but it kind of feels bad because once you do recognize the patterns, you're like, oh my God, I've been in this like forever. How did this happen? How did I get trapped up in this? Um, I'm going to tell you through this, I'm not even going to call it a course. I'm going to call it an experience. And the reason why I call it experience is because it's got so many moving parts going on. It's actually got worksheets to help you figure this out, to help you keep notes, to help you chart stuff. It also has it's got a GPT. I created a custom chat GPT for this that's actually going to help you through all the stages. It's going to help you figure this out. Okay, it really is. I took a lot of time. I actually learned some stuff about creating GPTs while I was figuring this out. It's not my first rodeo, but this is very. It encompasses so much down to actually keeping logs for yourself so that you understand what you're going through, and you can do that thing that we constantly talk about here, radical acceptance. Okay, it kind of walks you through this. Of course, there's a 8 module video course that's going to help you walk through this. Now, it's not going to be released until 5 because render times have just been insane for me on this computer. So it's not going to launch until 5 p.m. today. But what I'm doing is very, very important. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in a set of beta testers. So the beta launches at 5 5 p.m. today, but the main module, okay, becomes, hey, what's up, Jess? Becomes available to the public, okay, on June 1st. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this, and please chime in if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, I'm making this so it updates every month on the first. So you'll get the complete course. You can actually most of the main modules are in there. In fact, all of the main modules are in there. The GPT, the course, the workbooks, all that stuff is in there already. But I'm thinking about, because I have a lot of content. Some content I constantly work on, and some content is finished. I'm just tweaking it, maybe being a little bit lazy, maybe saying to myself, "Well, you got enough stuff out there." Um, but I want to update it every month. It might be a book, from like one of my published books, where I'll just throw the whole PDF in there. And this makes the cost of entry for people that buy into the main program awesome. And people that get into the beta testing makes it super, super awesome. So I think with this course, I guess just me talking, is it's going to help people understand the hidden truth behind what is going on. It's going to actually, oh, what Narcissistic says, what's the beta consist? Why don't you come up here? You're an admin. You can bring yourself up. Hold on one second. There you go. So the beta actually, the beta is going live at 5 p.m. It's going to have all 8 modules are going to be completed by 5 p.m. Like I said. So all the modules, the workbooks, and the custom GPT. Hey, what's up, Narcissistic? So yeah, that's that. Everything is in there, and I'm going to go through the modules during this live. I think it's important so people understand exactly what they're getting. So module one, well, actually module zero is the intro, um, and it basically covers the hidden truth beneath the confusion. So the system was designed to help survivors recognize emotional confusion cycles, manipulation dynamics, trauma bonds, and repeated emotional instability through guided reflection and grounded observation. Um, and this is the important part of it, because hey, what's up, Ronte? Let me bring you up too, because I'm excited. I know I'm just like talking a mile a minute. Joe might have to jump in and slow me down. I'm really excited about this course because there are so many people that come in here, and like I said, they essentially ask the same questions. Okay, what is radical acceptance? What do you guys mean by that? How do I tell if this person is really, really a narcissist? A lot of people ask that. What's the litmus to help people understand if they're dealing with a narcissist? Some people, like I always say, just have bad upbringing. Not, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jess. I appreciate you. So many people, due to the denial, and I know I've been kind of harsh on people over the last couple of weeks about the whole denial thing, but that's part of the reason why I created this course. Okay, to help people understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because, see, sometimes we get locked into these narcissistic dynamics. We get our own personal pet demon or goldfish, whatever you're working with this week. We get this person into our life. And hey, Sue, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a long time watcher. We sit up there, and because our emotions, our feelings, our empathy is real, and we spend a huge amount of time. Many of us have spent years and decades in this dynamic trying to make sense of something that really, really doesn't make sense. And, we feel it deep down in our very core, and we feel it, and we start making excuses for this person. And that's where it goes sideways. Because you have to remember, this person is not going to make excuses for their behavior because they're doing it on purpose. And I know a lot of people have a hard time dealing with that factor as well. Well, who the hell wakes up and wants to hurt the person that they say they love every freaking day? You know? And here's the truth behind it. They're not people. This is why I call them demons or goldfish. They're not people. They have a disorder. And what we do is while we're running around and we're giving them free passes all day long, okay? We're giving them free passes all day long. We're making excuses for them. We're blaming ourselves. We're saying that if we try harder, we can fix the problem. We can fix the situation because all we're doing, okay, thank you, Narcissistic. I'll let you up because I'm tired of talking. And thank you, Wendell, for joining. So, yeah, we start writing these excuses, and it's for the most obvious reason of it all. We're trying to get back to the person that we met in the beginning. And that's a whole nother can of because you have to now realize that that was an illusion. Okay? And that's one part I'm always hard on myself about. And the second part is you've invested your feelings, you've invested your emotions, sometimes your finances, your peace of mind into this person on such a constant basis that you're not paying attention to yourself at all. Coffee's ready. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking the live. You know, and you're stealing from yourself. You're literally draining yourself to fix this person that by the time you get into the evaluation stage, they are showing you each and every day that they really are not trying to save this relationship. You know, you're getting what we call the word salad when you're just trying to get a decent answer or a rational answer. You know, you're being constantly, Wante says demons need a body because they can't work in earthly realm, no other way, i.e. the narcissist. You are correct. And just says that person in the beginning was not real. That part helped me stay strong. And that's awesome. And thank you for the follow, Coffee's ready. That's awesome that you came to that. But there's so many empaths. And I was one of those empaths. I didn't want to accept the fact that this was fake. I didn't. That's the hardest hurdle to overcome. So instead of like getting in people's face, every day, I slowed down, took it back, and thought about it. And I said, okay, let me create something that actually explains this in a language that people just can't deny. And the whole thing is based on, believe it or not, what you're feeling. Because that's what it all boils down to. What you're feeling. This is what you're avoiding. You're literally avoiding what it is that you're feeling. You know. So another thing and I'm gonna let Wante talk because I just got through module 1. Like I said, I'm super excited. Super, super excited. I'm gonna let Wante and then Narcissistic come on. Whoever's free first, just unmute your mic and come on. There you go, Wante. What's up? Hey.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm just getting in, but yeah, I'm with you, Minister. I know for me, one of the things I noticed is the longer you're with that person, it really makes it hard for you to see them like that. Because like you say, you're always chasing what or what they condition you to believe. And so you're always chasing.
What's that? What's that?
You're constantly chasing after that, but what we have to realize is that what they showed you was a facade. It was never real in the first place.
Right.
Nothing about them is real.
Right.
And then you have to also understand that in order for them to attack you, they study you, they monitor you, they keep notes.
Right.
They keep track. Every time they injure you, they keep track of what bothers you.
Right.
They use these things. It's like warfare for them. So when they create their warfare, especially when they're on the way out where they're trying to make you get rid of them or they're trying to find a reason to get out of the relationship, they create this warfare. And they take all those things that they've learned about you and they use it against you like warfare.
Yep. You're right.
But you have to be strong enough and you have to be smart enough to realize that, hey, this is a game for them.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, this is life.
Yep.
They have no feelings. They don't care about nothing about what they do. Everything that they do is intentional. And I say it's intentional because they take the time to learn who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So they know what hurts you. So if they're doing something to hurt you, it's very intentional.
Yep.
You best believe they have thought about
it. Mm-hmm. Planted.
So I agree with you, Minister.
Yeah.
Girl.
No, they planted. You're right. Go ahead, Narcissistic. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just agreeing. I love it. You know, she's a great speaker and she speaks the truth and she's so absolutely right. I'm just, I wish I had known Minister Robinson back then because, like before, I've never met a narcissist before, but now that I know the patterns and I educated myself, it was with someone that was obviously after the covert stage came overt. I could plainly see what was happening, but now that I look back in my life, I can see where it was in other places, even with my first husband, who I was married to for 10 years. And then I've been divorced for 10, and I've only had 2 relationships since my divorce. And one was like yours, which was a really dumb narcissist. And then the highly intelligent one that I just married in October and divorced like a few months later so quickly. So and you're right, they're data collectors. And they have, I mean, this last one, whatever, he had a memory and photographic memory, which I think is a major like dark side spiritual gift on his for his end. I feel like we have spiritual gifts from the light that give us power to be able to see into what they are doing, and they can't hide things from you once you're onto their game. Like you'll know what they're doing even if you don't have proof with your eyes.
Yep.
So just always trust your gut. And I noticed I was ignoring my gut instincts, you know, especially when he said the words, "I love you" in person. And I did not feel anything when he said those words. Like, I'm like, wow, he doesn't mean it. Like, I don't when someone says "I love you" and they mean it, you feel it. You can feel they have an emotion attached to the words coming out of their mouth. There was nothing there. It was like a blank slate. Yeah. And as far as like intimacy is concerned, it was like being with a robot. I mean, a dead entity. There's nothing that they can contribute to your life to make you better. They're only there to make your life worse. You just don't realize it when you're, you know, when they're spinning their little web in your nervous system is what I call it. And I look at them like spiders.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stick with demons. I'm going to stick with demons.
Yeah, demons, spiders, and snakes. They're all of those 3. Demons, spiders, snakes, all of them. And we're the goldfish in the bowl.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And I see, thank you guys for joining. Isaiah, Diana Lane, thank you for joining. I appreciate all you guys. If I miss your name, trust me, my thing doesn't scroll. I see you guys. And you guys are agreeing with what the Narcissistic and Wante was saying. You know, you have to trust your gut, but I get it because I've been there. It's very hard to trust your gut in the beginning. It really is, because all the things, I think Dr. Ramani, I just watched a video of her over the weekend where she discussed the love bombing, you know, and how you are essentially falling in love with yourself. Because when you look at it, that's who you fell in love with. That's what kept the red flags from popping up, is because you started to see all the things, all the qualities that they were copying from you at that time. So I get it. It's hard. It's not easy. But part of one of the cores of the course is getting back into touch with your identity. More importantly, with your emotions, because your emotions are the best litmus that you have available. Because sometimes during the love bombing stage, our emotions are kind of like pulling on our collar saying, hey, listen, this is way too quick. You know, okay, I know you're cute or I know you're handsome, but come on, y'all are doing the thing. Like, you known this person for like 10 hours? Come on, how's that working out? You know, doesn't that throw up a red flag, especially in this day and age? Okay, so you're sitting, and especially if you're not, you know, in your teens or in your early 20s, that's kind of par for the course. But as you get older, you start wanting more for your life. And the reason why you're getting entrapped is because 9 times out of 10, you're out there looking for that special one. You're looking for that one that's going to complete everything. You're looking at the one that you're going to grow old with and walk through the park like those old people that you see on a Sunday morning. You know, so you have to get back in touch with your emotional identity. And that's what, it's like what I did was I looked at I listen to what you guys say. I follow your comments and stuff like that. And I kind of followed away. And sometimes, during the week I'm just walking around saying, oh, Diane Elaine says I wasted almost 30 hours with the demon, divorcing him for the second time currently. Wow. Well, they are huge time wasters because their time is not valuable. Their time is based on misery. So you'll find that with a narcissist, the confusion actually comes from literally they're bored. They're bored, and when they get bored, their shame starts coming back up. And when their shame starts coming back up, oh, somebody's gotta pay for this. Someone's got to be held accountable for their shame. Again, we are put in a position to forget about regulating our emotions, okay, and we give all of our focus to their emotions. We're gauging conversation. We need to say something important, and we're playing conversations in our head, not because we're scared of them. We're scared of the emotional chaos. We're getting tired of it. So when you think about that, go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak. Wante, go ahead. Because I'm going to talk about my course. Okay.
What I was thinking about when you was talking about trusting your gut instinct, and a lot of times, we all have that instinct or that inkling where, something inside of you is saying something's not right here.
Okay.
But when you're dealing with a narcissist, like I say, it's like warfare. They literally sit up and they plan these things. So the hoovering and the love bombing, especially, you need to pay attention to, because this is the time where they keep you unstable.
Yeah.
And you're second guessing your thoughts and your intuition. But what you have to remember is if they are hoovering you and love bombing you, they come with apology. It'll come with apology. Did they show empathy? Because at the end of the day, if they're just showing up with the love bombing and the hoovering, then basically they're just trying to keep you unstable and keep you in the loop.
Right.
And that's what keeps us so long.
Yep.
Because it keeps you in a state of confusion.
Yes.
They never apologize for anything.
No.
They never take accountability for anything. And like you said, I used to sit up when something was bothering me, and my spouse would be at work all day. I would be playing in my head the conversation that we're going to have at home.
Yep.
Because I've already, them like the back of your hand. So I'm already, if I say this, he's going to say this. So let me fix this. No, I can't say that, because this is going to blow up and turn into a whole blown out argument. So I would be spending all day to prepare for a conversation with a normal person that should take no more than 10 or 15 minutes, whereas you're in a whole circle of conversation with somebody for 3 hours. And at the end of them 3 hours, guess what? Nothing's fixed. Nothing's accomplished. They get to walk away. You're still dismissed, and you're still unseen and unheard.
Yep. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. Hey, blessed. Everybody here, the gang is all here. Thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna get you a second, Narcissistic, because I'm still talking about my newest creation, what makes me feel so freaking good. But just bear with me. When we look, and this speaks to a lot of what you said, Wante. See, I think we come to normalize this. We normalize the fact. Again, I'm not blaming anyone, and I'm not trying to make someone feel bad. But what are we doing this for? Because we're trying to save something. We're trying to say something that we feel to be important. And that's our relation. We have taken the step to bring this person, and we thought it was a person, into our life. Okay? And we say to ourselves in the very beginning, we say to ourselves, well, not everybody's perfect. Not everybody understands everything. Not everybody does it. But you know what? This goes above and beyond. This is next level confusion that you're in. You know, and anytime, as Wante said, that you have to plan out just a conversation about the water bill or a conversation about I'm sick. I don't know how we're going to maintain the house. Just a conversation about I really need to, the important conversation. Hey, listen, I'm thinking about getting a job. I can't stand this place. Those times when you're looking for support, but in the back of your mind, you're confused because you're saying to yourself, this should be simple for people in fulfilling relationships. Why is it so hard here and now? See, that's what you got to think about. That's what brings you back around. Nog talks. I want to talk to you.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, you got to play around with the one of the modules inside the course, which was the GPT module. Honestly, how did you feel about it? I haven't spoken to you since the last exchange, so I want your complete honesty.
I thought it would be, and I know how Chat GPT works. It doesn't always do. I don't know how you have it programmed. I don't know, but it didn't. I thought it was going to just take. I plugged in an old conversation.
Okay.
And I didn't say anything. I didn't give it a prompt. So that
was
probably my first mistake. Yeah, I just plugged it in, and I thought it was just gonna tell me decode it, but no, I had to then I was like, oh wait. It didn't do it, so I had to give it a prompt basically and say, decode this and tell me what, Well, and it was very helpful. Okay. Very. As long as I get my prompt right, then what I put in for the old text messages was and it did. It evaluated it and said. It also showed me, this was funny, it showed me where my response was off too.
I'm glad I put that in. Yeah, that's important.
It's accusatory. It's well, you don't even know what I've been through with this person. So at this point, I had to get it up to speed about this and that. And it was really good. It was talking to a very intelligent person that knew how, what the narcissistic dynamic is about and stuff like that. So
no, thank you for taking your time. But I think the way that when I programmed it, if you notice, is on the splash screen there's 4 questions. So that actually it's like an introduction to what's going on to end the confusion. There is an action programmed into it for what you said. But you not everybody is hit to ChatGPT as some of us are. So I had to put that, as part of the programming. So you have to actually go in with one of those. I think it's 4 questions at the top. You have to pick one of those, and that starts the journey. But I thank you for your time, and I thank you that it actually gave you a relevant response. That was part of the actions, is to decode conversations. And one of the things was I noticed that through our chats here with different people, I noticed that there's a lot of reactive, because it's reactive abuse. The narcissist writes something to you, it triggers you, and you respond like a normal human being, not realizing that sometimes you're actually feeding into the fire. So I think the way I have it programmed, it will actually gray rock or yellow rock your response. In other words, we're going to end the fuel right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So where do I find those questions though? Is that on a different?
No, that's on the page, the launch page. There's 4 before you get
launch page. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right on the launch page.
I went straight.
You just went straight in.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing? Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I should have followed the process that you have.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You did what you, but I'm glad that you saw something useful, and that's what's always important. My way of being of assistance at the end of the day. So I appreciate your time. Narcassi, you quiet.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, good. Narcassi, we got to talk to you before you head off to work. Talk to us.
Oh no, I'm just grateful it's Monday. It's my day off.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. So I get to come to both lives, which I'm happy about.
Awesome.
So when you open that, because the way Not Talks was explaining it, because I'm going to try it when this live is over. Do you need to just have Chat GPT on a blank page or what?
No, it's actually it's part of the course. It's not a public GPT. I do have a public GPT. But I've learned since I made that. I think I made that public GPT in November. But you learn a lot, along the way. My experiences with AI and what it can do. So, like the first one, I didn't program actions. So I actually spent about a good 6-7 hours trying to figure out what actions needed to be taken, and also the tone. I didn't want people to feel like they were talking to a robot. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're going through this, if you're sitting in the restroom or you're sitting in a quiet room and you're trying to figure something out, you don't want a robot talking back to you. So I tried to make it not super emotional, but human at least. And its main purpose is, I took a page out of your book where you can actually, as Nartalk says, the intelligence is set to decode messages, the possible intent, and it will also help you craft a response that is based on gray rock or yellow rock.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, because, like I said, the confusion, the narcissist will send you a message. They know what to say to you. They know they're giving you information late. They know what they're doing, and all they really want is that response that they can go back and forth on. If you don't give them that, guess what they do? They go frick with somebody else's nerves. Hopefully, the new supply. You know what I'm saying? Because they've got to get that validation. They've got to get that feeling of, oh, I screwed with somebody. They've got to get that out off of their chest. So I would rather be the new supply than me, So Narcastic says deregulation they do keep you dysregulated. They do. That is part of the confusion. And in the video aspect of the course, we go a lot into that. We really do. The actual examples of how you're being controlled, how you're being manipulated. Things that you can pinpoint, that you can say, yes, that's exactly what I'm going through. So how the hell do I handle that? And these are questions that we run into every freaking time we do a live. Am I right or wrong? Somebody?
100% right.
Yeah. So, you guys can talk, because I like I said, I'm overexcited right now. So you guys can definitely talk.
Well, I'm excited to check it out. That's why I was asking what the beta testing consisted of, because I've been part of beta testing for authors who are pre-releasing books for you to read and give your opinions on or whatever. So I was wondering what your beta testing.
Well, send me a message. I'm going to put it in the group. Like I said, I've got to get the rest of this stuff up by 5. For some strange reason, rendering videos, I think I crashed out at 2:00, and there was a render that still failed. So I'm like, it's just been one of those days. It really has been one of those days. But I'm going to get it done. I'll get it done by 5. So, and I'll send everybody a message, and I'll let everybody know how they can be a part of the beta. I'm going to, once again, launch this officially on June 1st. And like I said, every month I'm going to add a new, relevant, powerful, and important, piece to it every month. This is going to be an ongoing thing. You know, so people that get it on the beta, win-win. You know, they'll still have all that available. People that get in on June 1st, they still get it all. So it all just sits right there waiting for you to say, okay, I'm ready for the next step, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
Okay. So, and then if anybody's here that wants, because I'm going to clip this up, anybody that's here that wants to take part in the beta, just send me a message and I'll send you everything that you need. One of the things that I put in the module, and I thought it was very, very, very important, was patterns over promises. Because let's be honest here, when they give us that promise that they're going to change, that gives us that hope, and we stick around just a wee bit longer. How do you guys think about that?
Oh yeah, they definitely do that, and I think Monte said that they pull the rug from underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of it. They pull you in and then they push you right away. And, you know, it's just
yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Monte?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's why I was sitting here thinking. I like we was just talking about last week how they pull the rug up from under you, and I don't know if it was Narc Talks or Narcissistic said they take you on the magic carpet ride first.
That was me. I love that.
Oh my god!
Like with that playing and everything, man, it felt so good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, everything you guys have said is so true.
It's good to see things like that in like symbols, you know.
Yeah. And Blessed says, not really funny, but once you heal. Yeah, well, that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal, to one day have a live and everybody's just laughing and joking and say, oh my God, I can't believe that I let them get away with that and having a good laugh. That's reclaiming your identity. And you deserve to reclaim your identity. You didn't do anything wrong. As an empath, you did everything that you were supposed to do, but you're not responsible for another person's evil. You're not responsible for another person's ill will. You know, and Blessed says you deserve so much more in life. Yes, indeed. Why don't you come up and talk? Because I don't like taking it, but I don't have to.
I was just waiting for the invitation, Minister.
Okay, I got you.
So I wanted to bring out just like 2 points, right? Okay. One of them is the commonality in our suffering. And how it happens and how the narcissist inflicts pain. The other one is not happening to you, but for you. Because before this happened, we were just giving and giving and giving. But once this happens and you wake up, you are so much more attuned to those things going on in your life that have gone on in your life, that will probably go on in your life, but you know how to stop it now. And the other thing is you can help other people going through the same thing. You notice it, you understand it, but it's for us to get on this side of the number line. Yep. Once you figure it out and you start getting your life back and you have healed, it's for us to stay on this side of the number line. I understand totally what happened to all of us, but we had to go through this in order to grow to a point that you blossomed. We're not just growing with leaves, but we got flowers now.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It takes a long time for, this is why healing is important, because it takes a long time for people to grasp onto the fact that you are actually now more resilient. You are now more powerful, not just for the fact that you can spot a narcissist a mile away, but it kind of helps. I think this, in a strange way, is why we become better foot soldiers for our higher power. We do. As empaths, we become more able to be of assistance, more able to help. Not just because I'm ordained, but I really thought at one point that this was the purpose. Again, I always say this: you could have gave me another test. You could have tested me some other way. We could have figured a way to get me to this point without me having to go through that hell. But at the same time, once you heal, once you reclaim your identity, what Blessed is saying is so very true. You know, the narcissist, when you look at it at that level, the narcissist, why do they want to put out your light? Why do they want to keep you from doing stuff? Why? Because they're the flip side of the coin. They're the darkness. And I don't want anybody to have to go through this. I don't. You know, whether it's a mission from your higher power or the universe or whatever, I really don't want anybody to go through this because it hurt me a lot. But as Bussett said, it taught me a lot. It taught me the person that I am. It taught me what I could withstand. It taught me how I could rise above. Because I'll tell each and every one of you, I thought there was no way out. When I first started my healing journey, I literally, truly believed I'm screwed. There's nothing that's going to come out of this. And then to top it off, I'm never going to reclaim the person that I was. You know, and when Wante says too much is given, yeah, much is given, much is required. Yeah, you're right. You know, we have to heal, help people understand that this is not the end. There's actually sunny days and rainbows and puppy dogs and kittens at the other end of this. Believe it or not, I'm not trying to be funny or make light of it, but there is. But you've got to want to figure it out. You know, another defining factor of this course is, and I had to put this in, is the radical acceptance. I think I went on a tangent last week talking about this. We are the ones constantly rewriting this history that we're experiencing. We're doing it better than the orange guy. You know, every day he comes and say, yeah, we're winning. And then, you know, we get other news outlets saying, man, if you don't get the hell out of here.
There's a reason why there's so many people that are waking up.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because we were put here to raise the frequency of the planet. That is one of the reasons why we're hearing so much about narcissism now. Mm-hmm. So much about how to heal. So many books about healing. So because we were put here to raise the frequency, because God knew how much nastiness would be in the world. Mm-hmm. And we are a reflection of that, being able to win. Mm-hmm. We have won, and we're bringing people along to win, to raise that vibration.
Yep. You hit it on the nose. You hit it on the nose, but baby steps, because somebody's still going through it. They probably said this and nah, that's not me. But you got to remember, guys, you had a purpose before you met this person. And do you not think, for those that have healed, that this wasn't the greatest test ever? This was the greatest exam ever, because look at you now, you've healed. The purpose of an empath, I can't, like I said, I've never assigned myself to the 144K chosen ones. I don't. I think that there's so many chosen ones, all the ones that have those traits that empaths have, because they literally want to help. And it doesn't mean that you have to be in politics or be a high official in your church or synagogue or mosque. It doesn't mean that. Just by helping, sometimes I notice, and I used to say this when I first started Church of Real Talk, you never know who's watching you. Well, we know the narcissist is watching. But, you know, as far as functional human beings, you don't know who's watching you, what kid, what neighbor, what shopkeep is watching you that maybe sees a part of your story, maybe feels a little bit sorry for you, maybe prays for you. And then they watch you and they watch you heal and they watch you regain yourself back. And you're not even paying attention to them. You're working on yourself, but they see it. And you healing, you growing, you getting back to, at the bare minimum, the person you were before you met this demon. Do you know how much hope is giving another person? Can you imagine the hope that you're giving some kid that is in a toxic narcissistic dynamic with their family, and they're looking at you because they can sense you're another empath. I see how that woman or that man is treating you. I see how they talk to you. I see how you leave your house looking all confused. I see this. I don't know how I'm going to get out of what I'm into, but they're looking at you. And then one day you come by and you're literally smiling. You're literally happy. You're literally doing the things that you used to do. And you know what you're telling that little kid? There's hope. There's hope. This is why empaths, we get those strange situations where people come up to us and tell us their personal business. I really did this TMI, baby. I didn't need to hear that. But it's an inherent trust because, like she said, we're here for a reason. There is literally a reason why we are here. Your higher power, the universe, never does anything by accident. If it did, hey, there's a good chance that the sun is going to fall out the sky right now. It's going to shut off. The moon is going to go orbit around Jupiter, maybe. Everything has a rhyme and a reason to it. Everything. What's up, Omni? You know, and yeah, Wante says we are here to sound the alarm. And you're right. There has been a huge, huge uptick on narcissism because people are starting to realize like these are freaking demons. These are freaking, I mean, the same things that you say to get rid of a demon, the same rules that demons have to follow. This is all from the movie stuff, but the same rules that demons have to follow. It's like the narcissist is the same way. They play the same playbook. They do the same thing, almost as if they are compelled to be this way. And they are compelled to find empaths. And they are compelled to try to ruin the life of others. Yes.
How did I go like almost, well, no, more than half of my life without knowing this even existed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was like a literal spiritual blind spot or a wall that needed to be broken down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think we were given these spiritual assignments to enlighten us and to remove those blinders so that we could see the world more clearly. We could see the motives of others more clearly. And it's a protective measure that we have now. I think that's a spiritual gift too. You know?
Yeah.
We're already Queen, what's up? Spiritually as an empath.
Yeah. This is a.
So it was just like elevating us.
Yes, because I can't think of any other reason that, you know, we're all here. And somebody put in the chat, this is why, Blessed says this is the reason why our experiences are so similar. You know, when you think about it, remember college? When you got that exam, did everybody get a different sheet? How was the teacher going to grade or the professor going to grade all of those sheets? They had similar questions. The test was similar for everyone that took it. So maybe this was our test. And let's be honest here. Not everybody passes the test, do they? So that's why we're here. We passed the test and we're the study guides. Oh, you failed the test? Don't worry about it. See me every day. I'll be in the library at 5 o'clock. I'm going to help you get through it. Go ahead, one time. I'm sorry.
So I was thinking, okay, like, so when I was with my spouse, and you know, the old people, they have a saying that they say you can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
And I literally take that and apply it to my life when I was with him, because he would be right up under my nose, and it's just like any and everything he did just went right past me. Okay, so I was like, I got to get out of this. But I'm also very spiritual, and I know that you can't just walk away from something without God's permission. And I began to pray. And I began to ask God to open my eyes up. I said, something here is not right. I said, God, open my eyes up. I need clarity. I need clarity because something's not right.
Right.
And this is the point when he allowed me to catch another woman calling his phone at 12:45 in the morning. You know, we talked about that. And I said, okay, God. I said, is it time for me to go yet? God said, not yet. And I asked God, I said, well, what do you want me to do? Just, continue just to stay in prayer and keep yourself covered. And God worked things out so easy that when I walked out the relationship, I had everything I needed for my new home.
That's what's up.
And I was able to leave away from there. And when I moved into my new home, I lacked for nothing.
That's what's up.
From food down to curtains to a bed to a dresser, you name it. God allowed me to get all these things. Now, mind you, I'm still living in the house with this man, and I'm packing my things, doing what God tell me to do, throwing away stuff. And I literally had boxes sitting in the living room, labeled, ready to go. He was walking past that stuff every day like it was nothing.
Not paying no attention to it. I tell you, when
I moved out, Minister, if you could have seen the reaction that he gave, it was just like it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Okay, so once I got out of the house with him, it was like the haze that was over my eyes was removed. And God began to take me back to things that I had overlooked. Like, for instance, I noticed that he was keeping his phone turned down, face down. The volume was off. The ringer was off. He was always on his cellular device, always in the bathroom. But I never paid any attention. But God, he drew me to it. Once I got out of there, he drew me to exactly everything that he was doing that I was ignoring. And the reason why I wasn't able to see was because I was still with him. So once God separated me from that situation, and my eyes began to become open. And once my eyes was open, then I started to go through this grieving period. And I told you, it literally felt like somebody had died. It felt like I was going through drug withdrawal and grieving at the same time. And this went on for months. I mean, like, I cried. Minister, when I tell you, I cried so much till my eyes was swollen. I just cried until when I went in prayer, sometimes the only thing I could do was just moan and groan. I mean, this is my story. I don't know how it happened for anybody else, but I'm telling y'all what I went through. And when I tell you I went through pure hell, I literally mean I went through pure hell. Not to mention, in between while we were separated, he was still hoovering around, so I was still dibbling and dabbling back and forth, causing more injury, not knowing that, hey, you're making this wound even deeper, and now it's going to be even harder for you to get over this. But I'm going to tell you, once God got me to a point to where I could cut that noise off and stay focused on him was when the real healing began, and I was able to keep that door closed. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. And I'm not knocking anybody, but this is what I went through. God closed the door and I kept trying to open it.
We all do it. You're not the only one.
We have to understand that there's nothing wrong with being told no. There's nothing wrong with it. No is not a rejection. No is protection sometimes. And I had to realize that God is not trying to hurt me. He is trying to help me and to save me. And once I got up on my 2 feet and the strength that I have now, I would never would have been able to accomplish if I stayed with him. So this is my thing for everybody in this chat that is still with your person. You can't do it. I have so many testimonies I could tell, but it's not enough time on this live. But let me tell you something. I know God is real. He is real. And if you get real and intentional with God, he'll get real and intentional with you. Because the Bible says he will make a way of escape. If you want to get out and you make that your prayer, God will make a way and he will show you exactly what you need to do. So I just want to encourage everybody on this chat. You can get out. Don't be afraid. God got your back.
Yeah.
And you have all of us. You are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not mentally ill. You're not crazy. You are seeing what you're seeing. You are experiencing what you are experiencing.
Yep. You are right. Hey, Ami, do me a favor. Let's throw the question up in here if possible. Because what you're looking at, the board is actually the now movement. We just want to be able to, I guess, they try to keep me on course because I'll drift all over the place, but also it gives everybody a chance to actually, ask their questions. I appreciate the likes and I appreciate the reposts. And I thank you, Ante, for sharing that because sometimes it's actually experiences like that give people hope. It's actually, we can all go online and look at rage content. We can all how do you reconcile feeling empathy for your narcissist? Well, let me answer this first. You're an empath. You just have to control access. There's nothing wrong with what you did. I say this often. The fact that I fell in love with the narcissist doesn't make me wrong. I just did what normal human beings that want to have a fulfilling relationship do. I'm sure we all did the same thing. This is why we got caught up in it. This is why we all get caught up in it. The narcissist plays on our ability, our capability to be deep lovers. The reason why it lasted as long as it did was because the narcissist gambled on the fact that we were going to try to keep on fixing the relationship. This is why last week I kind of talked about this a lot. Phase one is like, it's a non-negotiable for them. They need to make you fall in love with them. They need you to, as quickly as possible, fall in love with them. So they'll pull out all the stops. It could be the physicality, the intimacy part. It could be strange gifts. Sometimes, for many empaths, it's just feeling seen. Feeling as if someone actually literally sees them, not looking through them, but sees them. But it's all a con game. So I hope that answered your question. Narcos, we ain't heard from you in a second.
Well, I was just saying that as an empath, yeah, you have the empathy for them or the compassion, but you also can sense hidden motives. So that's where you don't get tripped up.
Yeah.
You can have compassion and sympathy for them from a distance, and let them go through their life how they need to, because they're going to keep on playing these old patterns out that they never did the healing for.
Yeah.
Nor will they. They will put it on you as an empath to do the healing for them.
Yeah.
And they'll never get healed. That's the thing, is like, you think, okay, well, I'll help them work through this and it will be good. No. That's you doing their inner work. Yeah. They have to do the inner work. And as an empath, you understand that as the biggest task, is to allow them to do their inner work, but you're not going to involve yourself in the whole process anymore, because that's for them to carry. That's their burdens.
Yeah.
And they can't just like divvy it out, like from supply to supply. Like, okay, you're going to help me carry this and you're going to help me carry that. No, do your own work and heal up. And, they say that narcissists will never get healing. It's highly unlikely. Nope. Very highly unlikely that they will ever change.
Nope.
So I'm sticking with that.
Yeah. And, good answer. Good answer.
Moving forward with that.
What do you say, Narcissistic?
He said he found you from lip syncing your sound. It's out of 250,000 views right now. What? You have to check that out. Wow. No, I agree with what Narc Talks is saying. And I understand how Omni's feeling. I struggle with the same thing, but I'm, almost 3 months out of the marriage / situationship. And it's hard to not still care about that person or worry about them, but I promise you, like, their ability to compartmentalize, and what's the word for when they detach from something, just like emotionally, mentally, physically, like boom, they sever that. Like they forgot about you.
Yeah.
Until they're bored with their new supply, or 2 supplies or 3 supplies down the road, they might think about you then, but it's only because they're bored. It's not because they ever loved you or cared about you.
Right.
You know, they were using you and your energy to fill them because they are empty. They have no core being. They have no spirit.
Right.
They have a false self on the inside, and that's all that they love is that false image that they have created for themselves. And they also have a idealization and a false image of you that they took a picture of when they met you, and when you did not fit that picture that they took of you, that Polaroid, they want to divorce you in their mind and separate from you, and that's why they start devaluing you and discarding you and throwing you out like yesterday is trash. I have to constantly go back and sometimes remind myself that this person never loved me. You have to say it out loud. He did not love you. He did not, like, whatever it takes to get that to resonate and take hold inside of me. 3 months out now, I'm doing so much better than I was, and the acceptance, the radical acceptance, is something that you have to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
But I get how you feel, Omni, big time.
Yeah, no, we all get it. Blessed, what do you have to say about this?
You know, I always talk about loving yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So once we get out of the relationship and we learn, and it's not really a big idea. It's really a small idea. When you say love yourself, start doing those things that you weren't able to do when you were in that situationship, things that you love to do. If you like fixing different types of teas, if you like going on walks, if you like looking at magazines, start doing the things that you like to do, that you put off for that situationship that you were going through. I also like to talk about, I think it was Nartox that talked about, what is it? I lost the thought. But more of you and less of them and their foolishness.
Right, right.
Because we get so involved and rung around the tree with, oh, well, if I did this, then it'd do better. If I did that, no, it's the core of that demon that will never be satisfied. They're like a cup with a crack at the bottom. You keep pouring into it, pour into it. It will never get full. Yep. So we have to fill our cup up first, and then you give from your cup that's overflowing. So we give so much, but then we don't expect for anything in reciprocity. But that's wrong. We should be giving and receiving the same. It doesn't matter what relationship, what situationship. If you find that you are giving, you're not getting anything back, it's time to sever the cords. Family, kids, mother, daddy, sister, brother, cousins, friends. We have to realize when we're loving ourselves that there's a reciprocity that will come along with that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So we need to, and you know what? I love what you all just said. You know, you have to remember, one of the things that I try to get survivors to understand is, in a sense, I mean, as much as I say, you know, you should have saw the red flags, you know, you should have, you would have, you could have. These entities, these demons, this is what they've been doing for most of their life. You know, it's not like they woke up and decided, you know what, today's a good day to be a narcissist. No, this has been a lifelong journey for them. It will continue to be a lifelong journey for them. This is what they do. You know, the new supply, everything, everybody can tell the same experience. It always follows that pattern, regardless to the face, the nationality, what landmass they live on. It doesn't matter. It's always love bomb, devalue, discard / reverse discard. It's always the same. So this kind of tells you that there's something inherently, and just for the fact, think about this for a second. You're talking about a person that knows what they're doing at all times. Okay, so that kind of tells me it's not a mental health issue, It's a mental health disorder. Okay, because we can tell that they know exactly when to turn it on, when to turn it off. They could rage out at you on the car for the last 6 miles. You get to your destination, which might be a restaurant, you might be going out for lunch. It's like you see a whole different person within a split second. Because there's a certain behavior that you will see, and there has to be a certain behavior that the rest of the world sees. So this by default let me know that what I was dealing with was demonic. By default. I couldn't think of any other way. I'm like, who wakes up and does this? You know, and I'm reading the DSM-5. I'm listening to different mental health professionals. I'm listening to everybody. Because you have to remember, initially on my journey, me thinking that I'm intelligent, I can fix this. I can find a cure for them. Until that day I had to push back from the computer, look at them and say, this shit ain't happening. This person is going to be like this for the rest of their lives. And if I don't get away, I'm going to be crushed. I'm going to be broken. The radical acceptance. That's why that is such an important part of this program, this course. I like to call it a program. But that's why it's so important, because that's what we miss. I get the fact that you love this person, but sometimes do like I do. If you got to keep their phone number or any pictures, go buy some demon stickers and put it on, just to remind you what the hell you're doing. Your mind is back on track. You're going to see the demon picture and be like, oh yeah, that's the reason why I don't speak to this person. It's your freaking phone. You can put whatever image that you want to identify that person. You know, this is why I tell people, stay the hell off of their social media. Oh no, I'm not going to tell you that you need to stop. Why? Why? It's your social media. You signed the contract with that company, not with them. And they're going to smear your name anyway. But that doesn't mean that you have to go to theirs. Because every time you go to theirs, I think Wante said that every time you go to theirs, you're going to open up that wound again. You are going to open up that wound again. Come on, let's be honest. If you're just getting out, every time you see that picture of them, your nervous system just does a flip-flop. It's like, what the hell? And then you start deep diving, and then you're going to see something that you didn't want to see, which was actually literally placed there because they're depending on the fact that you're going to be trauma bonded enough that you're going to live up to what they're telling everybody else. You're going to become obsessed. You're going to become unstable. Think about that for a second. Because through the whole relationship, in hindsight, you did everything that they expected you to do. You did. You tried harder. You accepted every apology, even though every apology came with a but or however, and I'm just saying, or and because. So to me, that's not an apology. That's someone trying to blame shift or not take accountability. You know, so what you have to do is I used to do this thing in the community, healing through peaceful choices. It's like this. Don't take away the fact that you love them, but there's no sense to love them now. We can do that with time periods. We've all had friends that we had in high school that we're no longer friends with for whatever reason. I really don't care what the reason is. You just decided that, okay, we was cool, but on this date, on this year, at this time, you said, did, or I felt a certain way, and I cut you off. Doesn't mean that what happened before that cutoff day, that you didn't care about this person wasn't your day one. That none of that counts. You felt the way that you felt at that time. But now you're at a different time of your life. You're at a different stage of your life. So maybe it's time to go find those scissors and just cut the narcissist out of your life. What you did in the past, you did. You can't erase that. In fact, stop rewriting history. Maybe some of the things that you did that now you feel bad about, maybe that might remind you the reason why you had to free yourself. When you think about it. Now, Cassie, what do you got to say?
I was just thinking that, like, if anybody, did anyone see Doctor Strange? I think it was the movie by Stephen King where like those dead entities were, sucking the life out of people. Like it was almost like a vapor. It was their essence. And I feel like that's what the narcissist is doing with what Talks is saying in the comments is like they envy our light and they wanted to snuff it out and steal it, hijack it. I call them, spiritual assassins on a soul assignment to destroy us. Mm-hmm. And it's a spiritual contract that they make on the dark side, and that's how they get their supply. They get unlimited supply. It's always there because they're always serving it. Right. And from a spiritual perspective, that's how I view it. We're in service of the light here. That's why you're here doing your courses, trying to help other people. That's why we take time out of our day to do these lives and help others and talk about our experience. We are in service of the light. We are in service of God, and they are in service of the dark side. And that's how they keep their unlimited supply, is through those spiritual contracts that they have against the people that they set out for. I'm grateful for the lesson. Honestly, I don't regret it. I needed that because I was very naive. I'm still very young spiritually. I want to mature. So I want to soften and I want to grow. And you cannot grow spiritually without trials and tribulations. You can't.
No.
If you want an easy life, you're not going to grow.
No, you can't. You can't. So, yeah. So, guys, I'm actually, again, it's Monday, so I have to speak to my daughters. I want to stay on here forever. I think a lot of things that we talk about sometimes I'm like, okay, we need to expand on this. We need to expand on this, because between Narc Talks, Blessed, Wanted, and Narcissistic, thank you so much. Thank you for joining the fan club. What happens is there's so much that we can say, and it's like we just can't stay on TikTok forever. Sometimes we've got real life stuff that we need to do. But luckily, I will be back at 8 p.m. tonight, and that way Narcissistic can share a passage out of her book. Narc Talks can talk about the thing that she's doing, which is the Somatic Saturdays, and Blessed can keep on keeping us on the right path. I think what we're doing here is great, and I appreciate all of you. I really do. Anything you want to say to close out, Blessed?
I always say just love yourself. If you love yourself, you're going to want the best for yourself, and you will not ever suffer from a narcissist's behavior ever again.
What about you, Narc Talks?
Yeah, I love that. Blessed, that's beautiful. And it just takes small things, to take that time to do the deep breathing whenever you're feeling triggered. Even if, the rumination is real, it doesn't stop until you make it stop. So also I'll be going live today again at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to jump on.
If you guys want to try to find me,
I'll
be there. I'm gonna try to keep it positive and keep it focused on healing, and so the topic will be more how the narcissistic dynamic affects our nervous system and things we can what we're doing to reset that, because that's where the power is.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. What about you, Narcissistic?
I will be there. I love the fact that the lives that we all do are focused on the positive and healing and everything, versus there's a lot of lives in the narcissistic community that will just focus solely on the narcissism and the behavior, and people spun out in the comment section. Everyone's ruminating. It's not serving you. You want to serve yourself every single day and make those little choices each day, even the tough ones, like I don't feel like doing this or that. If you push yourself every day, your recovery will get easier and easier. You'll get better and better as you keep pushing forward. Put yourself first and your recovery first, and have self-discipline towards it, and you'll be feeling better and far less defeated very quickly. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody. I'll be back at 8. I got to figure out why my computer is not rendering correctly and get these videos up so that you guys can have access. If you need information, please feel free to message me. If you look up in my bio, I have a lot of free resources as well. Okay. So with that being said, I need you guys to stay powerful, keep healing, and I do this. I think we all do this. Love you guys. Have a great day.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
See you later.
See ya.
And it won't let me out again. This is crazy. Okay. And now.